Today we continue optimizing your webcam image using OBS. Because we split this demo in two, the demo will start somewhere in the middle. So if these tabs or windows are new to you, please watch the first part. So now it's time to optimize your webcam image even further. And we're going to start with the white balance. And white balance means what your camera perceives as the color white. So here you can tell your camera what the color white is in your situation or your scenario. Right now this is set on auto, so just tick the box right here, and as you can see right now I'm suddenly very orangey because the white balance is very high. So if I just set this a little bit lower, you can see I'm really cold and blue right now, and if I set this all the way up top I'm very orange. And if you have watched our video about the studio lights, you will see that this slider works exactly the same with the same Kelvin range, ranging from, let me see, I believe it's 2000, yes, 2000, which is very cold light, to 6500, which is very warm light. But for now I am just going to set this to around 4741. Below that you have the backlight compensation, and you can just turn this off or on. And this is kind of like the same thing with the automatic light correction if you don't change any of these settings with a Logitech webcam. Next up is gain, and gain in OBS is like setting your ISO on your DSLR camera, for example. And just like with setting your ISO, it will brighten your image, but there may be some noise or grain in your camera image. And in OBS it looks like this. So if I set this really high, it's very bright. Like I said, it's brighten your image. But I'm just going to add a little bit of gain, and I'm going to set this one to 12. And then for the final option in this menu, the anti-flickering. And what anti-flickering means is the detection of lights flickering from artificial light sources, and OBS then tries to correct them. But in my opinion, it's just better to change your frame rate or your ISO or your lighting situation in general. In the same properties menu you can also go to the other tab, and those are the camera controls. And I'm not going to spend too much attention to this because if you have worked with cameras in the past you already know what's going on here. But for those of you who don't, I'm just going to explain very quickly. You can zoom your camera image, as you can see right here. But I don't use that, so I'm just gonna leave this to 100. This I do want to show you because, like I mentioned, the webcam that I'm currently using has autofocus. But if I tick this box and I turn it off, right now I am in focus, but if I set this all the way to 250, right now I'm out of focus. But if I just push my thumb around here, you can see that my thumb very much is in focus. To change this, just put it all the way back, and there I am once again in focus. You can also pan or tilt your camera image. You have here a low light compensation button, but because you already changed your lighting situation in the video proc amp, I don't need why you should tick this box. But you can also set the exposure, and I will do that also. So right now we are here and it's very bright, and if I set this all the way to -11, I'm completely dark. So I think I'm just gonna leave this one at -5. And those were all the settings that I wanted to show you in this specific properties menu. So just click on OK, and now it's time for the next part in OBS, and that is the color correction. So if we go to filters, which is located right here, you can see we can add audio and video filters or an effect filter. And we need to select an effect filter, which is this one, color correction right here. Please give the name of the filter. I would just leave it to color correction Logitech webcam and press on OK. And once again right here we have a bunch of sliders, and some of which we already discussed in the video proc amp window or the camera settings window. But the first one is gamma, and gamma is one of them I haven't explained. But gamma is like changing the luminosity and the brightness in one. But beware, it also changes the RGB a bit. So if I set this all the way to here, you will see the gamma looks like this. And if I set this all the way down, it will look like this. Gamma, by the way, is great for if you have like a very shiny forehead. Just turn the gamma down a bit and the problem is probably solved. But for now, I'm just gonna turn it down a little bit to around here. And next to that, we have the contrast, the brightness and the saturation, and we already changed those in the previous section, but for the sake of this video, I will change them anyway for the second time. So alright, so I've changed these settings and now it's time for one of those I haven't explained also, and that is the hue shift. Hue is also known as a tint. So if I change this slider, you will see that some tints change or shift entirely. It's very funny to look at this this way. It's actually very trippy if you do it like this. But no, I will probably just leave this here. I think this is pretty good. And the last one I wanted to show you in the OBS color correction is the opacity. And if I set this all the way down, there is no video because my video is completely transparent. And if I set this once again to 100, there is no transparency at all because I've set my opacity to the max. And below that, you can also add multiple colors or add a color. And that is how you can optimize your camera image using OBS. If you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about webinars on how to host them, what gear to use and what it is like to work at a tech startup, subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click like on this video and hit that notification bell. And let me know, do you already optimize your webcam image? Thank you so much for watching and see you on the next one. Bye!